Growing up friendless, I had no idea what to expect of a friend or how to be one, other than what I learned from actresses like Miley Cyrus and Selena Gomez on Disney Channel shows. I didn't know there were different categories or levels of friendship, that acquaintances play a different role than friends, or what an inner circle was, or how to build one. Other than Aunt Rachel, my mother didn't model friendship for me with a group of golden girls or besties from high school. What is a true friend? What is a fake friend? I had no idea, but I really wanted one. There's another prison motto. You don't come to prison to make friends. How do you make friends in a friendless environment? You take a chance. When I met Lori and Amelia, I realized what a good friend was. Each of them had been my roommate. Growing up friendless, I had no idea what...
Yet, how did you treat Amelia and Rachel Garlic and Nadatha? You know, when you came out of prison, though, Gypsy, how did you treat them when they were really good friends of yours? She treats them all like crap now. She still don't know what a friend is.
No, she don't.
Hey, y'all. Welcome to Night Combos.
Welcome back. Hubby's here.
Hey, Hubby.
Hey, Lovey.
Hey, y'all. Before we jump into the part 13 of the book real quick, we do want to say we do have a few shout outs to give because we are so thrilled, and so thankful that, a couple of y'all had tried to send us a Cash App. There was 2 of y'all that tried to send us something on Cash App, and one of them went through, and then there was another one by the name of Laura. That's all we're gonna say. We're not gonna say their full name or nothing like that, of course. But that one didn't go through. It expired because I didn't know that I had to go in there and accept it. So when it came through, it didn't notify hubby or I, either one, and so we didn't get a no type of notification. So we didn't know that we needed to go in there and accept it or anything. But the other one, it came through just fine. But anyway, we got that, and then we've gotten a couple of super thanks that y'all, we truly are so grateful for. But we'll do those shout outs for those people in a regular video, because we don't know if they're listening or not. A lot of people don't listen to the book because they don't want to support it, or because they don't want to hear it because it's sexual and it can be a trigger for a lot of abuse victims and stuff like that, and we completely understand that. So we prefer to give shout outs like on our regular videos and stuff. So we will be doing that on our next video. But anyway, which should be uploaded here in just a little bit, just to let y'all know. Anyway, we just wanted to say thank you so much to those people, though, if they are listening. Thank you so much. We're truly so excited and so grateful for it. And thank you so much to all of our subscribers that's been with us from the very beginning all the way to now, and all of our new subscribers. Thank you so much. We truly appreciate y'all. Welcome. We're so glad that you joined our family and channel here on YouTube, and we hope y'all continue to enjoy and love all of our content. We greatly appreciate you. And if you're not already, please make sure you subscribe, like, share, hit the notification bell, all of the things, and we would greatly appreciate it so much. Okay, so we told y'all we would start trying to get more of this book out and hurry up and get through it before her show starts airing. And we may have to look at doing that on Patreon, but we are going to get it figured out to where y'all can watch it here. That way nobody has to give Lifetime or Gypsy or the Blanchards or anything like that any views or any money in their pockets or anything like that. And then we just have a way that we're going to do it where we don't have to give them the view or any money or anything like that either being put in their pockets. So just let y'all know. And when we get that set up, we'll post it or do a video letting y'all know what to do to be able to watch it for those of you who are curious about it and just simply want to still see what's going to happen in this last season that Gypsy Rose Blanchard has. So anyway, we'll be doing that. Okay, y'all, let's start this chapter 13 of her book. So just as a reminder, kind of like we did last time, we'll play like the last 30 seconds of chapter 12 and then let it play into chapter 13.
I took 3 Oxy and craved the fantasy world Nick and I lived in. I messaged him. Do you remember when you told me you'd protect me from people who want to hurt me? I asked Nick over text. Yes, darling. Will you still protect me? Yes, Nick answered. Even from my mother? Yes. 13. Negotiations. You have to come get me, I begged Nick. The plan was for him to get back on the bus and take me to his home in Wisconsin to live with him and his mom and stepdad. Nick had a private room with a bathroom all his own upstairs, so we'd be comfortable enough and have privacy. Nick said his mother welcomed me, but wouldn't give him the money to come back to Missouri. She didn't know too much about my situation. She talked to Nick about our relationship as if we were any other 20-something couple in love and miles apart. Her advice to him was that couples take turns in the relationship, so it was my turn to reciprocate for the visit he took when we met at the movie theater a few months earlier. She told Nick that if I really loved him, I would make this trip to Wisconsin. Gypsy needs to come to Wisconsin this time, Nick's mother said. A little something clicked in my head. I guess because it was so natural for his mother to assume I would just go to him for a visit, as if life were that simple, and I could go about doing things that are expected to be done by everyone in the world except me. Hearing it this way, it just all clicked. I'm not free to make my own choices in life. Life should be that simple, and mine's not. I homed in on the devastating notion that I had this open invitation and opportunity to visit Nick, his mother supporting our love, and I couldn't do a damn thing. We felt like our relationship was on the brink of collapse. We believed we tried everything to be together, and now it was a matter of taking extreme measures. We worried the shed incident would lead to something worse for me. We need to think of a new option, Nick said. I agreed. And then I made the suggestion, to which Nick said, Victor can do it, but you need to be the one to beg him. So I sent a message to Victor on Facebook.
Sorry about that, y'all. Here we go.
To Victor on Facebook, and the exchange went something along the lines of, Victor, will you please do the deed? Yes, my submissive. I will do the deed for you, but it will be done my way and how I want. My one condition to do the deed, because you are too weak to do this yourself. I want to rape your mother. No. Victor's response was written in all caps. How the fuck am I supposed to do this? And how dare you ask me to do this? And you won't give me the one thing I ask for? I'll let you rape me instead. Then no, I am going to rape you after it's done. Okay. You will go to the bathroom. I will scratch on the door. The scratch is the code for it's over. Okay. You will be clean and shaved and naked, and then I will rape you. Okay. The contract sealed. Our subsequent conversations turned strategic. How could the deed be done? How can he kill my mother so I could be free? Arson? Burn up the house? Nick suggested. Knock over a candle, and it will look like an accident. No, there's too many things that can go wrong, I answered. Roundup or arsenic? No, I said, poison is slow and shuts the body down. Too brutal. If it's going to happen, I want it quick and painless. What about a gun? Victor can shoot her, Nick suggested. I researched how I could get a gun, but information online revealed that I needed a state-issued ID, which I didn't have. How about a knife? Nick wrote as a caption to a picture of a large fillet knife he sent me. It was like a fucking machete. No, I'm not getting you that, I said. My rule is you will buy it. Nick said he wanted.
Oh, y'all keep in mind that Raina, Ken's mom, said on Sir Morbid's Live that she had not read the book yet because they didn't want her to, or Ken didn't want her to because it was so sexual. But she did say maybe she would read it with her granddaughter one day. Like, what the actual flip?
Yeah, that's pretty messed up.
You got that right. You definitely got that right. Y'all let us know what y'all think about that. Okay, Gypsy, you start out saying Nick's mom wanted you to come visit him this time, which is not the way any of this went. But regardless, you knew you were an adult but couldn't make decisions about your own life. Gypsy, you definitely knew and know better than that. Because if that were true, then explain why your mom literally told you to just go and be with Nick. That way you'd at least be happy. Explain it. Like you said your mom told you. You've admitted to that, Gypsy. You won't, though, just like you won't explain why your hands and knuckles were bruised and swollen at the time of your arrest, which, remember, y'all had been a few days since the night she unalived Dee Dee. She's never spoke out on that before.
I think she had a part in it.
Yeah, I agree. Just like we explained and showed using some of the crime scene photos from our video we did last night. Y'all is a bit long, but it was the night before last, I believe. But it's a bit long, but you really should see it. Well, I mean, we think you should anyway. Like, it's got a lot of information in it, but we'll link that video at the top of this description box. For entertainment and educational purposes only, please do your own research. Let me make sure I throw that in there for people. And for that video, we're going to link too. Okay, but seriously, I think she absolutely had something to do with it, whether it was before or after Nick had gotten there. And then Nick was always supposed to be the fall guy.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I kind of think she and someone else done something before Nick got there and then let Nick come in and take the fall and you know, do the 4 jabs and think that he was the one that actually unalived Dee Dee, and he possibly may not have been the one that done it. Y'all really think about that. We could go into much further detail and show some evidence in the video we did, like the night, I keep wanting to say last night, but I think it was the night before last. We go into much further detail about it in that video. But Nick did say in his interrogation, when he was trying to remember, that he thought that Dee Dee yelled out something like Gypsy or something like that. So I don't know what she did, but I think she did something. I really do.
Yeah, me too.
But Gypsy, you were an adult and you could have ran away, got on that Greyhound bus and left, just like you had ran away several other times before. And it's real funny how Nick had a ticket there to do the deed or whatever.
Yeah.
And a ticket back, which she has said she bought for him, but she didn't buy herself a ticket to Wisconsin, which is really weird where Nick lived, you know?
Yeah.
So that's odd. She never expected to have to take the fall for anything, and I don't think she ever expected to have to go to Nick's house either. Y'all, the neighbors and friends and all knew Gypsy was not confined to a wheelchair. They said they seen her up walking around all the time, and her mom Dee Dee knew about it. So Dee Dee did not force her to stay in that wheelchair all the time like Gypsy tries to tell people. You are the one that chose to take your mom's life, though. You wanted to take it that far, Gypsy, instead of just getting help or just leaving on that bus back with Nick to his house. But again, maybe she never planned on having to leave. And that's just like, you know, she told Nick, literally, oh, don't wear the gloves. Don't worry about putting the gloves on. She looked all this mess up.
Yeah.
She's smarter than what people think or what people give her credit for, and very manipulative and conniving and cunning, like she really is. But he wore the gloves anyway. But she was planning on leaving his DNA everywhere, and then I guess her just disappearing off with Dan or somebody else, whatever guy she was possibly allegedly for entertainment purposes only, screwing at the time. Seriously. People want to say, well, she wasn't as smart back then. No, she absolutely was. And very manipulative and conniving, like I just said. Like, she was. But y'all let us know what y'all think in the comment section down below. Let us know y'all's thoughts and opinions. Oh, and if y'all haven't already, y'all should really watch the video we worked on about Gypsy being a, quote, psycho, part 1, Gypsy's Many Faces. We'll put that link for that video at the top of this description box as well, because y'all really should watch that one, because we have part 2 that should be being posted later this evening too, along with this video. She then, but anyway, back to the book. She then, of course, blames Nick and his mom for them, quote, needing to come up with a new option for Gypsy to get away from her mom, since his mom is the one that said Gypsy needs to come here this time, because they were worried that the shed incident would lead to worse for Gypsy. The shed incident from chapter 11 that did not even happen, that she totally lied about. How many of y'all believe that, by the way? Let us know in the comments, because we're really wondering. Sorry, y'all, I got tongue-tied. It really pisses me off the way she just skims over the fact of her asking, begging, manipulating, conning, and playing games with him, Nick, for over 2 years to get Nick to do what happened, and just said they were thinking of other options, and Nick said his alter ego Victor could do it. Y'all, that's not how it happened at all. We could sit here for hours explaining all the ways she manipulated him and played him into his part in it. Oh, she is so wrong for that. She said Nick told her she would have to beg Victor to do it.
She didn't hesitate to beg him either.
No, she sure didn't. That's what I was about to say. I was going to say you took my thoughts, but like somebody said in the comments in a previous video, like, you don't take my thoughts, like, just great minds think alike.
Yeah.
I thought that was really sweet, but somebody left that in the comments in a previous video. But anyway, yeah, she sure didn't like that, but that's what I was about to say. She didn't hesitate to ask Victor, because she didn't want to get away from her mom. She wanted her mom completely gone, completely out of the situation, completely unalived. She says Victor's one condition, which y'all has been proven was a lie, that, quote, Victor would get to grape her mother, and Gypsy said, no, like, oh my god, no. You can grape me instead. So Victor said, then no, I will grape you instead after it's done.
That didn't make sense.
No, it really didn't. Like, no, the way she said that did not make sense at all. No, you can grape me instead. So Victor says, then no, like he's not going to do it, since he can't grape Dee Dee, which y'all, Nick never wanted to do. Neither did Victor, his alter ego. Like, there was never anything about graping, Dee Dee or anything. But it doesn't make sense for her to say, no, you can grape me instead. So Victor says, then no, like he's not going to do it at all. And then says, I'll grape you then after it's done. Like, what the heck? Like, anyway, she says he sent her a picture of a large fillet jabber that you would use on like a large fish or something that looked like we can't say that M word on YouTube, so like that looked like a mash eddy. I'll just say it like that. Y'all know what we mean, but we will just say the M word, or sheddy. And she said, no, I'm not getting you that. It's funny how she can constantly tell, quote, Victor, no, to do many things, or to so many things, and to doing many things. Yet before she said she couldn't tell him no. And poor thing has to do everything Victor said, bless her heart. Ugh, the eye roll, y'all. But y'all, that's not true. She did try to get him the M word, the shetty, but it was too large for her to steal from the dang store. But anyway, let's listen to the last half.
Nick said he wanted to strangle my mother and stab her and feed her body to pigs. We don't want DNA or a body, he said. We can dump her at a pig farm. Pigs eat anything.
Oh my God.
I asked nicely that we just make it quick and painless, but it's like he didn't hear me. Get triple locking handcuffs and a ball gag and a taser so I can torture her a little. I looked online for what he suggested, and I was like, I said painless. That's when he told me to get duct tape instead. The final plan was I'd steal a large kitchen knife from Walmart. He could rape me when he was done. He would leave her body in her bed. Then we'd slip off to Wisconsin to live our quiet life. I thought we had it all settled, and then he had an idea. Nick said he wanted to load my mother's dead body into our Ford Windstar, rape her with a condom, and then afterward, demand that I suck his semen from it, and then drop her body at a pig farm. That's absolutely disgusting, I said. I don't want to do that. He reminded me that I was well aware of Victor's demented fantasies, and that I couldn't change him now. Then I reminded him that my 95-pound body would never be able to move the dead weight of a 200-pound woman. When we both realized that the laws of physics were against us, the unspoken plan was to leave her where she was. He could have called the cops. I could have called the cops. He could have told his mother what was going on, but neither of us did. The only thing that ran through my head was my life was at stake. I had already tried to run away from home, twice. She found me, brought me back, and made it worse for me. She had paperwork saying I was mentally incompetent, so I thought she'd just tell the cops the same thing if I dialed 911.
Lies.
The police would probably just bring me back to her. DFS had already made their visit, never to return. She told me my entire family consisted of shitheads and that my father was abusive to his new kids. Brilliant minds in science and medicine had been duped, and the school system didn't seem to notice I wasn't being educated. So in my brain, I was thinking about all the ways that I had already tried and failed, and of all the experts in their respective fields, all the authority figures, doctors, social workers, clergy, philanthropists, who had been useless in detecting any abuse or helping me in any positive way. What was in Nick's brain? I don't know for sure, but it felt like I was being used to help him live out this fantasy, as if he was playing around with characters that he created in his mind or in a video game. And some of them were evil killers, and maybe it might be fun for him to play around with that darker side of life. Were we using each other? With hindsight, I wish Nick had been someone different. A man, perhaps, who would have stopped me in my tracks, told me it was going to be okay, and that he'd help me find my dad, or call the police, or at least tell his family to help me. I wish the man I met online would have been able to help me see that desperate times do not call for desperate measures. That when you love someone, you help them rise above their circumstances, instead of taking the lowest way out. I wish the man I met online hadn't been as irrational, as isolated, and as disturbed as I had been in that very moment. Maybe none of this would have happened if I had still been talking to Dan. Maybe my mother would still be alive if she allowed me at least one phone a friend. Maybe if I had been educated or without a cocktail of prescription drugs, my rational brain would have worked better. I will never know.
Y'all keep in mind, she was painting her mom's nails pink and painting her nails pink and all this, getting all ready for Nick to come because Nick wanted her to have red nail polish on from what she says. And she didn't have red, so she painted them pink and painted her mom's nails pink. And we've seen the photos. Her mom's nails were painted pink in those crime scene photos. They were swollen and stuff because her body had been laying there. But keep that in mind. And at the same time, she's doing all this, she's sitting here thinking about and talking to Nick about, allegedly, from what she's saying here, talking to Nick about how she wouldn't be able to move like her mom's full weight, unalived weight, like the DEAD weight of her mom. Like that's so messed up, and you got a few screws loose in the head, Gypsy.
Yes, she does.
I'm just saying.
How did she think they were going to get the body to the pig farm anyway?
because Ding Dong is making this up as she goes, so she don't even know what she's saying at this point. I don't believe Nick said that. Let us know what y'all think, seriously. That's like Nick did not ask for a ball gag, a taser, and all that, and these triple lock handcuffs and all that stuff so he could, quote, torture her. If I'm not mistaken, he did ask her to get a taser only so Dee Dee couldn't fight back and it could be quick like Gypsy wanted it to be. Like Gypsy wanted it to be. And oh my goodness, y'all, this girl, I just don't even know at this point. This is exactly why we did the Psycho videos, part 1 and 2, about Gypsy. Like, part 1 is more about Gypsy, because you know a lot of people call her a psycho, a sociopath, you know, all of that.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we really worked hard on the part 1 and part 2 of these videos, and part 2 kind of goes more into if she really is, which we're not doctors, we can't diagnose her with that. But if she really is, you know, what are the effects it could bring on her child and stuff. That's more of what part 2 is about. And growing up with a parent that is a psycho or a psychopath or sociopath. So y'all really should watch those videos. And again, we'll have the videos linked at the top of this description box. And then part 2 will be, you know, uploading later this evening. But anyway, y'all, this is so gross. This is what you want your daughter to read one day, and her kids and their kids' kids and their kids and for all the children, all the generations to come from you, Gypsy. That's what you've said. That's absolutely wild. Like, Gypsy, what the heck? This has nothing to do with you allegedly being abused or getting away from it and having a happily ever after. Your daughter, nor does anyone else for that matter, want to know this part. She, of course, blames Nick for getting an idea after the quote plan was set and tried to say that he wanted to grape her mom. And she says that Nick came up with this after they already had the plan set, which don't make any sense, but whatever. After the plan was set, that he wanted to grape her mom with a condom and have Gypsy. Y'all, have Gypsy suck or drink the semen out of the condom or whatever, like that. Like, I literally just have no words, y'all. Like,
she's disgusting.
Like, none. I have no words. Like, none.
She's just nasty.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. She's disgusting for making up most of this book and for coming up with this crap and thinking of that. Like, ugh. Anyway, well, at first, do y'all believe any of that horse malarkey? Just wondering. I mean, you can tell she's lying because none of this makes any sense. And she just skims over a lot of the actual facts of what happened. But then to say Nick allegedly wanted them to load her mom's body up in the car that her mom had and then him grape her mom and then take it to a pig farm. The order of that doesn't even make sense. Not to mention, neither of them could even drive. And since she says that Nick was always so precise on everything he demanded, it's weird the order she said these things. Do y'all understand or get what I'm saying? Like, I hope so. And of course, Gypsy is the one to say that all this, y'all, I have no words. That condom thing got me. That's just disgusting. But of course, Gypsy is the one to say all of this. Then she lies and claims Nick comes up with it and is just, oh my goodness, like pearl clutchingly oh so disgusting. Like she's not the one that caused every bit of this. Don't y'all think? Like she claims Nick comes up with it, and it is just like I said, just pearl clutchingly so disgusting. And she's the one that came up with it. She's the one that wanted her mom gone. She literally just said they could have called the police, and they didn't. Or she could have called the police, and she didn't. And then she says her 95-pound body wouldn't be able to move her 200-pound mom. She always claimed when she was arrested she was so malnourished that she was 85 pounds. I could be wrong about that. Do y'all remember how much she said she weighed? I'd have to go back and look. Because 90 pounds is absolutely a normal weight for someone that is 4 foot 11 inches tall. Let us know if y'all remember. But even if she said she was 90 or 95 pounds, that's an absolutely normal weight for someone her height. And then, oh my gosh, y'all, wow, she actually admits that she could have called the cops, like I was saying. After all this time of her saying she couldn't do that, I swear, listening to her book will make you think you're in a Twilight Zone. Like we're the crazy ones. It's not true either that Gypsy's mom, Dee Dee, had incompetency or guardianship or conservatorship or conservator papers on her. Gypsy signed, and there's all different kinds, yes, and there's papers that you can get on someone where they can make medical decisions for you if you're unconscious or you're unable to or something. Like hubby and I being married, we're automatically each other's next of kin. So if anything needed to be decided on, medically or whatever, the doctors would come to the other one. Like if it was me, the doctors would go to hubby. If it was hubby, the doctors would come to me, for a decision or whatever. But that's not what we're talking about. Like we're talking about papers where Gypsy's trying to say her mom had papers on her, like where she couldn't make decisions at all. Like she was completely mentally incapable of making any type of decisions. And that's just not true at all. Gypsy signed for her own dental procedure to have her teeth removed. And she knew this, y'all. Most of us know she was not an invalid. She received her medical bills in the mail in her own name. She was not dumb or completely uneducated like some dip-jip white knighters think. She was very manipulative and conniving. She's a narcissist, and she knew what she was doing. She also knew that her mom was physically sick as well. What do y'all think about Gypsy being uneducated? Do y'all think she is, or do you think she actually is more conniving and manipulative and knew what she was doing this whole time?
This kind of goes back to Is Gypsy a Psychopath video that we did.
Yeah, it really does, because they're actually very smart and know what they're doing to people. They really do. Y'all, there's so much good information in that video, and it's very interesting. Like, in my opinion, anyway, it is.
Yeah.
Gypsy also said DCFS, or the Department of Child and Family Services, had came and went, never to return. Like she's so pitiful and couldn't get help anywhere. She was literally a grown adult. She was like 20 or 21 years old. I believe she was 20, because that was like in 2011. Yeah, so she would have been 20 years old because she was born in 1991. And that was in 2011 when DCFS came to her house. So she was 20 years old. Okay? So she, at 18, you're legally an adult. In some states, it's 17. So she was absolutely an adult. And she could have gotten up and walked right out that door, or told them, I want to leave. And there's nothing that Dee Dee could have done to stop her. But she didn't want to do that, though. Another eye roll. She has said in interviews, most recently the interview she done on Kel Lowry's podcast, to advertise this book right here, that they came and they didn't ask the right questions, and that was her excuse. If they did, then she would have told them what was happening, or what was allegedly happening. Then she has said, well, there was no physical abuse going on at that time, and that's why she didn't say anything. That doesn't make sense. If you were so desperate to get out of your situation, why wouldn't you say something rather than unaliving your mom or calling the cops like you said you could do? Also, missing your mom, like you just said in a previous chapter when you said you wish she would come get you out of the shed, and wondering if she missed having you in the bed with her. Side note, y'all, she's even talked about not wanting to do a sleep study. When she had to do a sleep study, she talked about not wanting to do it because she wanted to be with her mom and sleep with her mom like she always did. Anyway, she really wasn't locked in the shed. Heck, there was a dang screen window in the back of the shed she could have gotten out of, y'all. Y'all remember the pics we showed y'all in that chapter, in chapter 11? But still, there's just so many inconsistencies in her dang story, y'all. It's ridiculous. Like, do y'all think the same way, or is it just us? Like, just wondering if it's just us. Are we the only ones in this so-called Twilight Zone? And to literally say that Nick wanted you to drink the semen out of his condom and all that nastiness. Why? Just why? Seriously. We'd love to know why you want your daughter to know this, and how this is a book for survivors. To show survivors that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Again, it's a trigger for survivors.
I don't know, but can we move on from that?
Yes, we sure can, hubby. We can move on from it. Oh my goodness. She's just disgusting, though. Just why? Anyway, moving on, hubby.
Thank you.
Oh, y'all don't forget about the video we did, about the video that we did the night before last, going over and looking at some of the crime scene photos and looking at them and talking about it, because there were dually truck tire marks in the grass and cigarette butts on the wheelchair ramp right before the door, a water bottle cap mouthpiece right by the front door. It's all odd, and none of it was tested. So anyway, make sure to watch that video. The link will be in the description box like we told y'all. Also, we're doing the video about Rod, and also talking to Christy on a live about Rod not being around, and more about Don Boker and more. So that video is coming as well. So anyway, y'all, she says she feels like she was being used by Nick to live out his fantasy. He didn't ever think about anything like this until he was sadly online looking for a relationship or friendship and got sucked in by Gypsy. Matter of fact, he talked to his friend, just like the day before, I believe it was the day before he left Wisconsin to go to Missouri, on the bus, and talking to her about how he didn't want to do this, He had said to Gypsy multiple times he didn't want to do this. For over 2 years, he kept saying no and how he didn't want to do this. But yet, she wants us to believe that she was the submissive and he was the dominating one. What do y'all think, really? But, oh my goodness. Take some accountability, Gypsy. Seriously. Dang. Y'all, sorry, but I seriously think she is completely delusional, or she thinks we're all crazy and falling for and believing her crap. But y'all let us know what y'all's thoughts and opinions and everything are in the comment section down below. and we'll be conversating with y'all like always. And again, if you're not already, please make sure you subscribe, like, share, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. They're great. We've got some good ones coming this week, as well as the ones we've already worked on uploading to YouTube. So be looking out for those and have your notification bells turned on. And share and leave your thoughts and opinions, all of the things, and we would greatly appreciate it so much. We hope you are having a good night, and God bless.
Have a good night. God bless.
Bye.
Bye.